Then we had Kansas on the road at number 7, Texas Tech. And this one was not great. It was huge for Texas Tech to get this blowout win, 42-17. Kansas, compared to the other teams that have played Texas Tech, did pretty good, actually. And Kansas played pretty good against um, Missouri, who is pretty highly ranked, where it's like Kansas isn't that bad. And Texas Tech is really just so elite, and all the money that they spent in the portal was really worth it. And just everything that Texas Tech's doing is really great, Jack. And it feels like it doesn't matter what quarterback's playing. It doesn't matter. Texas Tech wins, period, Jack.
Yeah, I saw some people saying that this was a sort of trap game for Texas Tech because they had played so good and beat opponents so fiercely through this season. But this one really shows that
Right.
they're really on top of things, especially against Kansas, which I think is a better team in the Big 12 and a better team in general. You just said how they kind of
Right.
competed against Missouri, but this was just so impressive for Texas Tech, and I think they're
Right.
absolutely a top 5 team. I don't know why they're rated so low at number 7. I mean, they really. I mean, the Big 12 has lost a lot of teams, but the Big
I
12
know.
just does not get any respect. So, what do you think about that?
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Texas Tech is fantastic. To say they're not top 5 right now is pretty crazy when you have a team like Ole Miss in the top 5. Really redonkulous, quite frankly. I don't get it. And I mean, Texas Tech, it's like they're blowing out everyone they play. They're not in a tight game in the fourth against Washington State. That's not what they do. Texas Tech dominates teams, period. They blow out teams. It doesn't matter the circumstances. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter what venue it's at. They'll go into Houston Stadium, who was undefeated, and blow them out. It doesn't matter. They'll go into Utah Stadium, and even though it was close for a while, they go in there in the fourth quarter with a backup quarterback. He puts up a ton, and then you look at the final score, and you're like, oh my gosh, did they blow him out? Texas Tech just wins. I don't understand keeping them at 7. I think it's purely because they're in the Big 12. There's no other excuse for it, especially when you have teams like Ole Miss, where you can really pick apart what is their best win. And then it's like they've had so many suspect performances. Texas Tech doesn't do that. Every Saturday they go out there and they don't give the other team a chance. Like they blow out every team. Like you can just scroll through their teams. You can just scroll through their seasons 67-7, 62-14, 45-14, 34-10, 35-11, 42-17. They're not close. And there's a lot of those teams that's good. One of those teams is ranked. One of those teams is undefeated. One of those teams has played great against ranked teams. Like it doesn't matter. They blow teams out. They win them handedly, and it almost doesn't matter too much if they're still ranked because it's like they're not even close with these teams, Jack.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just so impressive, and they just completely blow out opponents. And Utah, we just saw, and we'll get to, like they just blow out Arizona State. They look like a contender for the Big 12, and they absolutely mollywop them. An interesting fact about like Cameron Dickey this game was just like video game numbers: 263 yards rushing in this game, and Texas
Mm-hmm.
Tech as a team, 372 yards rushing. Ben, that's more total yards than Kansas had. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like they just completely dominated. And while some people might thought that they might falter in this game, and early on, I mean, Kansas kind of put up some points early, but like they just really flexed their muscles and really showed out for their home crowd. So I absolutely think this is still their conference to lose. I know we've been saying that all year, but it absolutely still is true. I mean, Cincinnati and Utah are definitely players in that too, but this is really,
Right.
and I think they could go deep in the college playoff if they continue to play this good. Hmm.
Right. I definitely agree. I mean, they've just been so impressive so far, and it doesn't matter who they played. If you take away the logos, you don't look at the teams of anything they played, it's all very, very similar. It doesn't really matter because they get you to play their style of ball. They dominate. That's just what they do. And I know they haven't played like a super high top end team, but it's like they played Utah that was ranked above them. Like a lot of people thought Utah was good and they housed them, and we see what Utah has done since then. They're back in the top 25. They haven't had near as bad of a performance like that against anybody else. It's just Texas Tech, and it wasn't close against Texas Tech, even though it was kind of a game for a minute. It really wasn't. Like Utah dominated West Virginia like 48-14 on the road. Like they dominated a lot of teams. They just won 42-10. They won 43-10 against UCLA. They dropped 63 against the team. Like Utah is really good, and Texas Tech, it doesn't matter. Texas Tech's great, and Texas Tech went on the road in Utah Stadium. Texas Tech's really good, honestly. And I mean, we've been saying it that they've been so dominant, and they just continue to do it. We're like, okay, this week it's going to be a little closer. Okay, this week it's going to be a little closer. And I'm like, it's not really happening. Maybe when they play BYU, but honestly, even then, and BYU is pretty solid. But I'm like, I feel like no team on their schedule is really gonna rival Texas Tech, and maybe like because it's not even a conversation of like, oh, are they gonna beat Texas Tech? It's like, well, how close are they gonna be? That's what's really crazy about this. Texas Tech has been so phenomenal, Jack.
They absolutely have. I mean, there's not. I mean, you could say BYU, but BYU has definitely struggled, especially against Arizona this past week, and we'll get into that. But I really don't see anyone really beating them as what they've shown us so far. They just look
Right.
so impressive, and
Yeah.
this has really paid off to the money that they invested in NIL, and just I mean, every facet of their game is just clicking on all cylinders right now. So we'll see if they keep it up.
Right. And if they are the team that we think that they are, I don't think they're going to have a problem running through this conference. And I would be really surprised if they're not in that championship game, and pretty surprised if they don't win the Big 12 this season and possibly lock down one of those playoff buys. Maybe being a little too predictive about this, but I'm like, they've been so impressive, and I don't see any team in that Big 12 really rivaling them, at least not yet. And even though Utah and like BYU, like they have solid teams, but Texas Tech just looks so elite. This isn't like last year. We're not going to have like a four-way tie of like who gets into the game. Like, no, it's going to be Texas Tech and then who gets to lose to Texas Tech. And maybe that's disrespectful of them. Like, Texas Tech is just really good. And honestly, they should be appreciative that they're showing out for their conference, because their confidence doesn't get respect as it is. And maybe you say it doesn't deserve the respect. Regardless, they're getting their team and their conference on the map. And that is so huge for the Big 12. And I would be very surprised if Texas Tech isn't at some point in this year in the top five and possibly locks down one of those playoff spots with a win in the Big 12 championship.